another gentleman who's very, very good at taking care of business is the next speaker. As you know, very familiar. Many of you, love to, be on his webinars where he just gives and shares just his knowledge and his wealth of depth of information. And that is the CEO of Socium Development, Mr. Jussi Saloranta. And I could say so many things about this gentleman, and many of you have known him, met him personally. But one thing that'll strike you is just his knowledge, and any project, anything that he gets involved with, he just becomes a student, of that area. And I would, safely say that in this whole area of what we're doing, plastic waste to fuel, he would undoubtedly be one of the, the leading experts on that field now in the world, without a shadow of doubt. And it's a privilege that we have someone of that competence and that level of skill, and also level of intelligence, and also his communication skills are fantastic as well, that he's able to convey this knowledge to us in the field that we can learn and grow also as individuals and as a company. So Jay, are you with us on the call today? I hope you are. There's so many people here, it's difficult for me to find you at the same time as I'm talking, but I think Frank is assisting there with the unmuting. Jay, are you?
Yes, I'm here. Thank you very much, Peter.
Wonderful, Jay. So thank you for being with us again from Thailand today. There's a lot of people on the call. There's people from all over the world. So, I know that your communication is very accurate and very detailed and very, very good. So everybody will totally understand you. So I'm just going to hand over to you, sir, and just tell us and share what you want to share with us today.
Well, thank you very much for the warm welcome. And first of all, thank you everyone for taking your time to join us on this call on this beautiful Sunday. I'm here today to deliver for you an update report on a few different territories and our latest progress regarding the Socium Development Company. I understand that this conversation or this presentation is being translated right now, so I will talk in split sentences so that the translators can also keep up with the speech. Most importantly, what I wanted to start off things with is to show you the current progress that we have taken with Socium Development Company, specified to our first project location here in Thailand, but also which will work as we like to call it, our McDonald's manual, where basically what we are building is a structured manual concept design for each of our project locations around the world. And what does that mean is that we have a clearly defiable and visible design that you will see continuing from all of our different projects, no matter whichever country they are located at. So when you go to McDonald's, wherever they would be, the location and the land and the shop might be of a different size, but you will always recognize that you are in McDonald's. And that's basically what we want to do here as well. So let me share my screen and I'll show you. Let's start off from this. So these are 3D illustrations of what we are now building in our first project site in the province of Sakeo here in Thailand. And in this specific location, we are looking to have between 4 to 6 production units. And then on a close by location, which is just approximately, I would say 30 minutes away, we are looking to have additional machines to reach our total project target of 10 units. And each one of these warehouses that you can see here, as a default, will have 2 machines, but we are confident that we might be able to add maybe even 1 more production machine in there. But this is basically how these locations are now going to look like. In this specific location here in Sakkeo, we have now started the land preparation works. We have started clearing this land, and we have started adding these additional landscaping over here, just to make sure that the area is ready for the full construction. This location, the soil, the land needs a little bit of reinforcement, so we are going to do some piling work there, just to have this structure strong enough to support the needed weight of these machines. From here you can see another angle. As you can see from here, just a second here, all right, there we go. And then you can see the side views of this one as well. There we go. All right. One thing that we have taken into big consideration here when we were doing this design was that we wanted to make sure that this location will work as a good location for us to display it for all of our visitors. So, for example, inside of the machine, inside of the warehouses, what you will see is you will see a walking platform which is elevated. So in this way, whenever we have guests coming over to see the facility, you will be able to walk onto an elevated platform and then safely view the operations of these machines without having to go too close to it, or we don't with the need of having any dangerous distance to any one of these machines. So in this way, we can easily present our operations and safely provide a viewing spot for all of you coming to visit us here in Thailand and seeing our productions firsthand. Now, this facility here, as I mentioned before, is planned to hold between 4 to 6 of these production machines. Each one of these machines is able to convert approximately 120,000 kilos of plastic waste per month to approximately 60,000 liters of fuel per month. So we're looking at approximately 50% conversion ratio from the amount of waste plastic to the amount of actual produced fuel. And as in every location where we are operational, we are looking to have a total amount of 10 of these production units in that specific location, and in that way allowing us to process approximately 1.2 million kilos of plastic waste into approximately 600,000 liters of fuel per month. And that is also what will take place over here. Now, obviously, this design and layout will be very good for Thailand and other climates where the temperatures are quite warm. And these machines will actually function better when there is enough and more ventilation available, so that the air can flow in a better way. That's why you can see a very open structure and design on this warehousing. When we are looking at other climates, such as, for example, the European operations, in those locations, we are having a similar but closed concept where basically we will be keeping the cold weather out from the actual interior of the warehouse. So by doing it in that way, then we want to always be able to modify the design for every specific location where we are establishing our operations. But this will be the standard layout for all of these warm climates. Now, if you give me just a second over here, I will share for you something more. Now, we are at the very moment also here developing our website. Basically, this website, sociumdevelopment.com, is basically the site where you will be able to see our business operations, introductions of our team who is involved. You will see different projects which we are currently developing, updates from those projects, and obviously you will see a few of the key numbers that we all want to be very much aware of. Number one, you will see how much plastic waste has been removed from the environment on any given moment. We will try to have that counter to be more or less up to date on a daily basis. And then you will see also how much fuel has been produced as of that time. Also, you will see, as I mentioned, updates from our different projects. And inside every one of those project categories, you will also see a weekly report from that specific project and its weekly business performance. So what we will do is we are going to release for every individual project that we are operating a weekly report which states from the company's management how much fuel was produced during this week, how much raw material was converted, how much waste plastic was removed from the environment, and what was the total outcome of that week. So that our reporting structure will be very much similar to what you would normally see in publicly stock listed companies. We will also do our quarterly and our annual reports, which then goes into more details of the actual financial performance of the company. But on a weekly basis, you will be able to see from our website a report of the production of the fuel, which was achieved during that set time. So these will be the most important things on the website. And we will have this website now fully up and running for you within tomorrow. So you can go to sociumdevelopment.com and you can see this information there. Obviously, right now it will be updated. We will also have updated project pictures coming under these project files, where we will be able to share in a kind of a blog style more information about what is happening on that specific location at that time. Now, these are the general news for you about what is happening with Socium development right now. Going into a little bit more details, as I mentioned, here in Thailand, we have now started preparing this project site, and we are doing the land modifications, land preparations in order for us to establish our first machine on this facility. We have already now secured this machine, as I've mentioned in our calls earlier. The first machine is right now located approximately 3 hours away from this location. It's stored in a warehouse where it's basically just waiting for us to have the groundwork completed so we can bring the machine in, install it, and get it up and running. We are pushing very, very hard with all of our different teams to have this machine up and running by the end of this month. And we are still very, very determined on that date and pushing forward every day as much as we can. We've been very fortunate. Maybe I shouldn't say it in this way, but let's say that because of the situation that we've all seen with the virus around the world, there's a lot of very, very talented, very good, qualified people who have been out of work for quite some time. And we've been extremely fortunate to be able to put together a construction team that normally would be very difficult to get on a short notice. but we have a very qualified, very international, and extremely experienced construction team that has now taken over all of our constructions here in Thailand. And I believe that these pictures that you saw, which came from our architect about the designs on these locations, they speak the language. So what we're doing now is we're pushing everybody forward. We're getting this location ready, and we want to bring our first machine over there. As soon as this machine is up and running, we will be adding our next machine. We have from the manufacturer of this technology a confirmation that they have units reserved for us in stock. And from the moment when we are ready to move forward with our arrangements and our order for the next machine, the second machine could be up and running in just approximately 6 weeks from the time when we confirm the order. So we don't have to wait for months to get the next machine, the second, the third, the fourth machine in place. We can actually start to add more and more units faster and faster as we move along. And I want to thank Frank Ricketts for his great support, and obviously Wayne Dobson and Staffan Liebeck for their great support in this collaboration that we have had between Cloud Horizon Company and Socium Development Company on these very early stages as we have been setting our operations here in Thailand. We are in a very good collaboration together with the local government, and this is important for us when we are having our operations started. They are very welcoming for us to the province of Sakeo. They have been very supportive for us, and alongside with this warehouse building, the production facility, I'm also going to share with you photos latest by Monday, Tuesday, about our learning center, which will be built also in this same land. So this learning center will basically be our showroom and location where we can educate people both internationally and locally about our operations and our solution for this amazing, massive, dramatic waste plastic crisis that we are now seeing all over the world. Something interesting, just to give you a little bit update what is happening here in Thailand. I've been blown away over the last few days to see the new normal, how the restaurants here in Thailand that are now have been allowed to open after the restrictions, how they are now operating while trying to protect their clients from any virus or anything else. Basically, what we've seen now is that restaurants that would normally serve their food from normal glasses and cutlery and plates and so on, they have stopped giving their clients glasses. Instead, what they're doing now is they're giving people inside the restaurant your food and your drink wrapped in single-use plastic products. So what you can even see here, you see even the coffee spoon is individually packaged in single-use plastic bag. Well, if this is not crazy enough already, then I want you to see how they actually bring the food for you. They bring the food for you wrapped in plastic foam. Look at that. It's unbelievable. So I just, another example. This is how they serve you soup in the new normal, right? I mean, just when you thought that it couldn't get any more crazier than that. Well, what has happened here is that, for example, in Thailand, the use of single-use plastic products, and at the same time, the generation, the the how would I say, the amount of plastic waste which is now being produced each a month and each day here in Thailand has gone up more than 20% during the virus, because most of the people have been ordering their food at their home. It's delivered for them wrapped in plastic packaging, and all of that goes into waste. So Thailand, that used to already have a big problem with plastic waste, and where Thai government was trying to restrict the use of single-use plastic bags and other products, is now totally out of control. So all of these efforts that we saw over the last 6 months, over the last year, where people were told, don't use plastic bags, don't use plastic products, don't pollute the environment, all of those things just went out of the window. And now the new normal is that, yeah, let's use just more and more and more plastic. So if anybody was concerned that we are running out of plastic raw material because people are no longer using plastic bags, for example, no need to worry. We are looking at a new increase of plastic waste all over the world. And I'm not saying this in a way that I'm happy about this situation. I'm actually very, very concerned about this. But what does make me happy about using plastic products myself is that at least I know that we have a solution for this problem. And when I go to a store here in Thailand personally, and they wouldn't give you a plastic bag anymore, yes, it's good. But at the same time, we have to remember that plastic is a very good material, and it can be used in many, many ways, as long as we have a solution how to treat it once it has been used. And that is exactly what we have. Now, aside from Thailand, we have taken some very, very good progress with our projects in Europe, and we are extremely glad to see that borders are now starting to open up. Travel between different European countries is now allowed, and this is happening. So we're very happy to see this. Most importantly, we are taking very good steps with our first European project, which is going to be in Slovenia. We are, as of right now, we are setting up our corporate structure over there. We are registering our European main company. We use the term holding company for that, which is our European main entity. And I'm also happy to tell you that this main company will be registered in the Netherlands. We are going to have our head office, at least as of right now, for our European operations based in Holland. And from there, we will then coordinate other operations in these other countries. And Slovenia will be our first European location. We have been a little bit pushed back on the timelines because of the limitations that remained on the traveling and doing business, but now things are opening up, and I understood that in Slovenia and other parts of Europe, people are now allowed to move freely, and you've been able to enjoy your summer weather already in some of the terraces and restaurants already. So that's very, very positive progress. So this will be taking place now during the next coming weeks. We will be more established in Europe, and then we are pushing forward on our operations there. Next, online, we are working very, very hard together with our dear coordinators and partners in Belgium and in Ireland, as well as in Colombia. And these other locations, we are moving forward as well. Right now, the most important process which we are working with is the licensing process to make sure that we have all the needed environmental licenses, production licenses in place when we start adding our machinery to these existing locations. The very good thing about the locations in Slovenia, Belgium, Ireland, and Colombia is that these are all existing facilities. We do not have to build the infrastructure in these locations. We have a local partner that has been operational already for many, many years, either in plastic manufacturing business or in waste management operations. And we are able to move in to these facilities without having to build warehouses in the same way like we are building here in Thailand. Instead, what we will do is we will focus our efforts and our resources to build this actual facility and indoors of it to be what needs to be for our operations. And then putting our resources and our efforts in bringing in the machines and starting to convert this plastic waste into advanced biofuel. What you will see in our website is also a estimation for this year. Our target for this year, for the end of this year, is that we would be able, within our first operational year, which is 2020, to process more than 1 million, more than 2 million kilos of waste plastic during this year, and from that produce more than 1 million liters of advanced biofuel still during this year. That's basically where we are setting up. But we do wish to be operational in as many countries as possible still during this year. And now, as these restrictions are being removed, our team can start to move and operate and push things forward. So we are in a very good path at the moment. We're taking some very good steps to a very good direction. We've been able to put together a very solid, very good team around us, and we're expecting some very good results for the end of the year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jay, so much. And, we could chat all day. You've just brought up so many interesting and also intriguing and also controversial, topics. Like you were saying there, when you see the plastic being used now to wrap, the knives and forks and even bringing the food, to the table. I mean, that is just, who would ever have imagined, that situation. And, what I also say sometimes on our calls that we do during the week, our business presentations, is just, pay attention, to how much plastic is in your trolley at the supermarket as well. And you will see that that has increased dramatically, which also, says to me that we're so much in the right place at the right time with this initiative that we've taken and are developing. So, you're outlining there the project that's now evolving very rapidly in Thailand, and amazing, drawings to see the, the level of professionalism that you guys are putting into place and bringing our business again to, the next level. But also the potential in Thailand just alone, Jay, to have multiple projects there. I think Thailand is a population of approximately 70 million. Bangkok probably around 10 million. So, I mean, just, maybe just finish off quickly there just to highlight the potential for us, not just, we talk about around the world, but just purely in Thailand. And once we have that model up and running, I think it'll be like a domino effect. We could have multiple projects in Thailand, the potential.
Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing now also the interest from the government level to our operations, because these landfills and waste management facilities which are around the world are facing this problem with plastic on a daily basis. They are running out of space to store all of this plastic garbage which is delivered there. And us bringing in a technology and operations where we can remove this plastic waste from the landfills means that it also clears space for them to operate longer without having the need of building new landfills around the country, which here in Thailand, we already have more than 2,000 of. So you can imagine the amount of plastic waste. I saw a number that Thailand is right now alone as you said, as one country here in Asia, creating more than 3.5 million tons of plastic waste each year. 3.5 million tons, which has doubled from a number just a few years ago. So that's about 3.5 billion kilos of new plastic waste being created each year. And where is it going? It's all going into the landfills, which are running out of space. And what I want to highlight before moving onwards from this is that all of you understand, and I believe that you have already now, without me saying it, understood that every one of these projects that we're building in Thailand, Slovenia, Ireland, soon also in the Netherlands, in Colombia and Belgium, all of these locations that we're building, every single production unit, every single leader that comes out from these production facilities is positively affecting the demand and the value of the ISF token. So whenever you hear a project being developed, a machine coming online, production increasing, it is automatically increasing the demand for the token. And this will play out in a very, very interesting way in the future for your token holdings as we move forward and we expand our operations further and further.
Yes, absolutely. And, this is just so, motivational and, so inspirational, to just know that we're so much on the right track. And also, I suppose, to realize that we're really in the pioneer phase still of this whole evolution, that we're really at the forefront of this. And of course, in the beginning phase, this is maybe the most, risky phase, but it's also the most lucrative phase. But I think now we're really seeing this come of age, and just the baby is walking and crawling around, and it's getting stronger, and it's moving forward. And in a year's time, I have no idea how many projects. I was thinking I would be happy to see 3 or 4 projects online in a year's time, but now I think we'll have more than 10 projects online just by the way this is going. And, it could be even more than that. So really, there's a compliment also to everyone on the call and all the great leadership and all the, the backup that we've had, through the months, and the support that we've had from everybody in the field, to make all of this possible. It's a real team effort. And you guys, at Socium Development are an integral part of that team and have done, a wonderful job, Jay. And, we thank you, so much for your contribution and, ongoing contribution, of course, in the future. So thank you, Jay, for being with us today on the call, and always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Peter. And thank you, all the members, all the leaders, everyone who's involved in supporting our mission around the world. Thank you very much. And it's my pleasure to be working with all of you. Thank you. Baby.